I actually got fired by my patient. Hey everyone, welcome back to Care with Candace. So today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic. I actually got fired by my patient. I can't believe that we can actually be fired by our patients. But guess what? We can refuse a patient assignment too. So this is me telling you how to figure out a way or know the way to basically refuse a patient assignment if it's just not working out for you. First and foremost, most definitely look at your hospital policies to know what are the proper procedures to refuse a patient assignment. Some hospital policies will basically straight up say, make sure that you have in writing to your manager, to your director of your unit, notifying them that you will not be taking this specific patient and for what reasons that you personally have. You are not forced to take on a patient assignment that does not fit well with you. You could have had a bad interaction with them, whether they said something to you disrespectful or they did something that was disrespectful. You feel like your safety is put at risk and you just don't feel comfortable taking care of that patient. Even if comes down to skill set. If they are a very complicated patient and you feel like you don't have the proper amount of knowledge or experience to take care of that person, you have the right to let your management know that you cannot take care of that person. Okay, you do not have to be forced to take on a patient assignment if you do not feel like you can properly take care of that patient. Patient safety is our number one priority at the end of the day, and it's ideal to make sure that the person that is partnered with them is able to take care of them to their fullest potential. Okay, so definitely look into your hospital policies or whatever facility that you work with and let them know, hey, I won't be able to take on this patient assignment for X amount of reasons. Okay, so previously, before, I feel like a lot of nurses kind of go through this at some point in their career, being fired by their patient because the patient did not get what it is that they wanted in a timely manner or whatever the case may be. So the one time that I did get fired from my patient was because I was too late to giving medications, and it was their pain medications that wasn't on an as needed basis. Yes, they had been consistently asking for their morphine every 4 hours and things like that, but because of how the night went and how many patients I had and what the different conditions were, I'm sorry I was not able to get to you within the 4-hour period. Because it kept happening multiple times, the patient was getting upset multiple times. He let the charge nurse know that he did not want me back as his nurse because I could not be on time. What am I gonna do? Feel hurt about that? No, that is okay. If somebody else can definitely put up with it and be sure to get the pain medications on time, by all means, great. Go ahead and do that. No feelings, don't take anything personal when a patient fires you. Take it as an opportunity to just be like, all right, wipe the slate clean and move on to the next patient assignment. At the same time, patients can, I've had a situation where patients have sit up here and fired basically all of day shift, all of night shift, and I'm the only option left. When I am pulled into a patient's room to basically relieve another nurse from being fired from their patient, I try to assess the situation first from the nurse's standpoint and also get a feel for the patient and or their family. So this particular situation, the girl was maybe in her 30s, and a lot of times when we have like the young adult population, they seem to be pretty difficult in a sense of they're very particular about how they want their care and things like that. It must have been time for me to go to work. Not tonight though. It's 10:24. I don't know what this alarm is for. So the patient basically fired the nurse within the first 10 minutes of meeting them because she said that her energy was not likable. She said that she came in demanding things. The nurse was being rude to her. She didn't fully introduce herself, and she did not like her energy, so she did not want her as the nurse. Now, this is a patient that has been in the hospital for quite some time. She's had multiple nurses. The family was upset because her sleep is constantly interrupted, and we're not allowing her to heal and get better because we're constantly in and out of the room. We all know once you're in the hospital, give or take, depending on the days, especially when you first get in there and things like that, it's on a time frame of when we do our assessments, when we do our vitals, when labs are drawn, when meals are brought, when physical therapy, respiratory, whoever it is. It's a lot of moving parts within a patient's stay, and obviously our sleep does get interrupted. At night, we do try to cluster our care as best as possible in order to facilitate healthy sleeping habits and stuff for our patients, but sometimes we just can't do that. So the nurse was fired, I was hired, and I got a feel for them and was trying to be more relatable and gauge what was most important to them. I kind of allowed them to lead the night and tell me what their expectations are in order to basically have a comfortable stay for the rest of the time that I was going to be able to take care of them. I wanted to alleviate any stress that they were experiencing, any disappointment that they were experiencing from the other times that they've had with nurses, and I allowed them to let me know, like, okay, what times do you want your medications tonight? What is your goal for this evening? Okay, I want to be in bed, really want to get some sleep tonight before 11 o'clock. All right, cool. I'll bring in your medication around 9:30. We'll get all your medications done and over with. I'll collect your vitals at the 11 o'clock hour so that by the time midnight comes around, I've already done 2 of my assessments and you can go to sleep. Lab work, I know you've been here for a while. We'll just hold off on lab work until the morning time right before breakfast. That way you can get the amount of sleep that you need. Sometimes it is important to just compromise with your patient when you're absolutely able to. When you've noticed that a patient has been firing a nurse left and right, now it's time to just really assess what it is that the patient is missing in their eyes and be able to fill the gaps with the rest of their care. Okay, so just know that on a nursing standpoint, we can refuse patient assignments if we do not feel comfortable taking care of that person. And on a patient perspective, they can also fire us because we're not meeting their expectations. Okay, we're not meant to be perfect for the patient, but we are expected to really get to know them as a person in order to see like what their expectations are and how we can best communicate with each other to go through a safe and fulfilling work shift, So definitely, if you are a nurse, notify your management if you feel like you are uncomfortable taking a certain assignment. And don't be afraid to speak up about it, because the biggest issue that you'll run into is if you have a patient and you're too afraid to speak up and you don't feel comfortable with whatever condition that they have or whatever treatment options that they have, some errors may happen because you're uncomfortable with that situation. Speak up and make sure that you're able to either care for that person or pass it along to somebody else that can care for them in a safe manner. Okay, please like, subscribe, and share this information with anyone who is interested in the nursing field. And definitely let me know if you guys have been fired from your patients.